It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Let's move on to the next skill set that we think celebrities do practice that you can actually apply yourself. And this is a big one. Every time, and I've said this so many times when I go to high schools, when I go to colleges, I talk about this is the cornerstone for how you're building the foundation of your financial empire, and that's deferred gratification. The reason I like deferred gratification is that not only are you taking a little bit of today for a great tomorrow, but it is also showing that you are an optimist. All the research continues to show optimistic people are much more happy as well as more successful than people who are looking at life with a glass half empty mentality. So you're not taking a little bit of today for tomorrow unless you have some type of optimistic thread running through you. So let's talk about some of these celebrities that are actually practicing this.
And here's what I think is so great about deferred gratification. I have to believe, just living on Main Street in this country, it's hard to keep up with the Joneses.
Sure.
Or hard not to keep up with the Joneses. I imagine celebrities in the world in which they live, that is an even harder thing because keeping up with the Joneses is a very, very real thing. So someone who defers gratification is very much flying in the face of the societal norm in that culture, I would think.
I worked to it. Y'all know in my past, I did work with some professional athletes. And one of the things that I thought was so interesting, you know these guys and their contracts and what was guaranteed, what was not guaranteed. But one of the stresses, and this especially kicked in with a lot of the professional golfers, is when do you go buy your own plane?
Yep.
And it is one of those things you were talking about, the peer pressure of keeping up with the Joneses. I mean, right now your peer pressure might be, are we getting a new car? Are we putting a pool in the backyard? Imagine if your peer pressure is, hey, so-and-so got a plane. Are we getting a plane?
That's right.
I mean, that is just a completely different level. So let's talk about people that are doing it right.
So this first quote is, to this day, I still haven't touched one dime of my signing bonus or NFL contract money. Spoiler alert, there's a chance this may be a professional football player. He said some interesting things, too. He said that...
Or retired.
Or a retired professional football player.
He's probably living off that money now. Keep going, though. Keep going.
He says, if he liked a pair of clothing or shoes, he'd go buy it, but then his goal would be to wear it down to the rags. He did not care about having it always look pristine.
That sounds like somebody else we resemble.
I mean,
keep going.
I'm not gonna lie. So we already have a few guesses coming in. Yep, you guys got it. Gronk.
But here's Daniel pulled this quote. You didn't read this?
I didn't read that.
He
quote
has
yet.
splurged on one chain necklace. Is that a wink to two chains? I don't understand. That cracked me up when Daniel put that in there. He has splurged on one chain necklace.
One chain necklace.
So Rob has just one chain. He's not two chains, but he's got one chain, and that means he's good at deferred gratification. I'm just picking on Daniel, obviously, but
Marshawn Lynch was a good guess. Bernie Kosar. A lot of folks are saying, hey, how many of these do we have to get right before you send us a tumbler? If you want a tumbler, you got to ask us a question. At the end of the show, we'll do a Q&A. We'll send you a tumbler. That's how you get the tumbler.
So I want to move on from Rob because there is another athlete. I don't mind sharing that the next one's an athlete. And I love how this story kind of played out. Is because there was a group. Here, go ahead and share this, and then we have a cool story about this.
So this his quote was, "It keeps me grounded where I came from and all the hard work for me to get to this point." That's this quote from this guy.
So he's, and I don't mind sharing, he's a running back. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you what's going on in the background so you can guess this, because I think this one might be a little obscure too. It's just that I took a personal interest in this when I saw what was going on. Is that this athlete was driving around the same car I think he got from a preacher in high school.
Okay.
They bought for $2 from his preacher. And he's got an NFL contract, making money, and still driving his car. Well, there was a group of dealers, Mazda dealers in the area that found out, in the D.C. area, found out that he's driving around in this old car, and they loved the fact that he's still driving the same Mazda. They actually helped him rejuvenate and basically turn this old beat-up 1991 Mazda into a brand new car. And we have an actual picture.
That's right.
I don't know if anybody has a guess on who this person is. We might have to just reveal it, but it's a great story.
Okay, just got another guess on beast mode, Marshawn Lynch. It's not Marshawn Lynch. That would have been a good guess. And I just think So now you have to tell me if you remember this. Do you remember the show on MTV that Exhibit used to did called Pimp My Ride?
I do.
I'm just thinking about like this 1991 Mazda rolling up to get pimped by these local I just think that's hilarious.
They actually made it more factory though. It didn't have Exhibit, putting in big stuff in the back, woofers and everything else. It was pretty basic, but still, let's go ahead and tell them who it is and show the picture.
So a lot of guesses are Adrian Peterson, AP. It's actually Alfred Morris.
But look at that car. The car is beautiful now. I mean, it looks brand new. So I don't know. Hopefully, Alfred's still driving because this article came out. But go out there and look at some of the pictures. We might even put some links out there because we found them. But I remember that from a few years ago. I do think it's worth mentioning. We just talked about 2 NFL players. The average NFL career is only 3.3 years. Our running backs, like Alfred, is even less. It's only 2.6 years. The median career earnings, so that's not average, which is skewed by the people at the top. Median is probably much more appropriate. Earnings is around $3 million. So you can quickly see that, yes, these people come into windfalls. It's for a very short period of time, but these opportunities go away. So if you're not practicing deferred gratification or good life choices, you too, with your own finances, you might you receive an inheritance, you receive an insurance settlement, some cash payment, a year-end bonus. You have to think like somebody you don't know. There's no guarantee you're getting this money, so you better practice deferred gratification to save a little bit today for a great tomorrow, and it's really powerful.
Exactly right.
So, okay, we're taking off our nice guy hat. We're back to picking on celebrities.
Okay.
Because now it's time to flip the script, and we want to share mistakes. These are concepts that celebrities continue to make these mistakes, as well as, remember, they're the canaries in the coal mines that we see average citizens making the exact same mistakes. So we want you to learn from these mix-ups. There's no quotes, so everybody in the live stream can kind of take a deep breath, stand at ease. Now you can just sit back and enjoy what we're about to share.
And I want to reiterate something that you just said. Every one of the mistakes we're about to share is a mistake that you can make, even if you're not a celebrity, even if you don't sign a contract, even if you don't make millions of dollars a year. These are all mistakes that we actually see people make, that we have listeners, we have readers, we have folks reaching out. We see these things happen. So it's not just celebrities, they're just great examples of them.